Hey guys, I have come out here today to show y'all a lot of propane related stuff. Now, I put a whole list in a link below the video, and you're going down there and you're going to click on it and just scroll down. You're going to see a whole bunch of stuff that I have installed on jobs. A lot of the stuff that I use, it's proven. People have it 5, 6, 7 years. They don't have a problem with it. If they do have a problem with it, well, I don't recommend it because I don't want nobody hollering at me. What I've got here is a thing that brought me in my shop, and the reason it brought me in my shop is this unique little setup. Now, I did a video on this particular fitting once before in the past, and everybody that sees this wants one. They don't exactly throw these at you at the RV dealers or barbecue dealers or whatever, you know. You don't find these everywhere. There's only one place, and that's Amazon. About 4 different vendors, and I'll put the best guy down, the one that's the machined. There's some of them that are cast and you can see the seam. Don't buy them. The ones that are machined is what you want, and they have the full, they don't have a silly O-ring in them. They got the full rubber gasket like this does. So you want the quality. Don't buy the junk, even if it's 50 cents less. Don't buy it because you're going to have problems. You're not going to like it, and I've been through those already. What happened here is we're out welding up a job, and I am 75 miles from the house. I'm carrying this propane bottle with me because it should have lasted the whole job. It just didn't. But I end up realizing that behind the seat of my truck, for a hand warmer heater, I've got 4 of these bottles. Now, I refilled these bottles using this filler here off of another propane bottle some months back. And if you refill a bottle, be sure you use a cap with a gasket, because over time, that Schrader valve in this will get loose. Now, you always want to put a little bit of soap or something on it to make sure they're not leaking, but the solution, since these are machined flat tops, is just get you a cap. It won't leak down. It's worth the money. So what I've got here is about a whole list of stuff, and you're going to see down below that link below there, there's just a big list of things that's related to propane, from benders, tubing, flaring, tank kits, including, if I can find where I got these at, I'll put that down there too. These are the standard fitting O-rings that will go on the end right here. So they are made up of special material, so you want to make sure you get the right ones. They are the ones that will fit right there. All right, so if some of the older tanks or even the newer tanks, if you just want to make sure you got a seal, keep that O-ring fresh. We ran out of fuel on the job, so I had 2 more tracking units, solar tracking units that held 8 panels apiece to finish the weld up for the actuators, and no propane. 20 miles to get gasoline in my truck, not good. So we looked at possibly siphoning out of my truck, then I realized, well, I've got an F-250, good luck. And then that hit me right there. I have the little 1-pound tanks, and guess what? It ran the generator. So there I'm making the video. And I've even brought out my old Polonus that we use for drying paint, because the quartz is the best in the world, believe me, for drying paint. If you're doing a paint job in a house or something, these kick ass. The quartz or infrareds, you want to use those. Don't use just a regular heater. Just a tip there. Now, here's what our deal is, and if you're going to stall out because the video might have a little length to it, well, I'm sorry, but if you want to know more about propane, you got to be safe about it, and you got to get the right things. Now, down here we have everything from hoses, dual stage, another dual stage, and this one. So these right here are good for about 250,000 BTU of flow rate, and this one here, it is good for, and I put a link to these 2 on here. This is the dual stage for, like, if you're going to hook up a mobile home or 5 or 6 homes to small trailers to one big tank. That is awesome. It's a million, I think, or 750,000 to a million BTU is that one there. This big generator has got a lot of hours on it, and we've run the hell out of it. and you can go back and look at the bottom of the video, look below where I put that other link. I'll put a link to this video of me running this generator on its original buy propane gas, so you'll see how it operates, and you can go by and look. Now, right now, the gas is off because there is none, and that allows, if you turn it this direction, this can't slide. So you turn it back this direction and it'll slide and allows you to turn on your propane. This fitting here allows you to go into the top of your tank and then into a standard regulator that allows this much flow. So if you have a Mr. Buddy heater or something, the little regulator that's on it, it's only good for about 25,000 BTU. This thing here pulls 65, so it's not going to work. But this is just a shot straight through. You can see daylight, or you can see through it. Let me get the white source there. You can see through it. It's a straight shot. So you want to be very careful on how you do these. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to connect it to your regulator. So in this one's case, I bought a bunch of these, they're handy. So in this one's case, you'll thread your regulator into it, and then you're going to thread your bottle onto this. And now you have heat or fuel, and these little bottles you can store up in the top of your RV, you can put them behind the seat of your truck, you can pull them in the bed of your truck. I mean, they're tough as hell. But those little bottles are awesome for that, and I do refill mine, so I've got a lot of them. Carry them around. So luckily I had some in the back of my truck. One of the things you don't want to do is you don't lay the bottle on the side, because it'll allow liquid to come out, and you don't want liquid to come out because it'll shoot flame out of one of these heaters. So you want to always keep it standing upright. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you that you can fire this generator up. Now, I had about 28 to 30 minutes run time on the whole bottle. Given the fact that the generator only picked up real heavy and used a lot of fuel while I was welding, but it ran that long with me welding about 15 minutes of that day. So you want to make sure that you have full bottles to do this, because I got almost a half-hour run. Now, if you're going to be running like your refrigerator, your freezer, and other thing, hell, it might run 45 minutes. I don't know yet because I haven't tried it, but we've got it set right now. So you'll see how this works. There is the gas off. There's the off. Straight up and down is on. Over here is the propane. Straight across, so it allows this to slide, is off. And I will turn the propane on using this as its fuel supply with the cool little adapter. Now, normally we run this adapter. This is a Camco, and I normally run this adapter. It is a 90-degree bend that allows my hose to run back towards my truck without it being out here until we can trip on it. But I'm able to turn the hose down because I have a long hose like this one here that's a 25-footer. We usually just leave the tank sitting in the truck, or the generator might sit in the truck and we'll run the hose to something. But I put this on here and it allows that. Very handy. Double flare, 90 degree. And you can also get them where there's a T also on them the same way, where they'll screw on there and they'll tee off. There's also a valve, so I'll put a link to a valve inside there too. I'll add that on there. But this is going to fire this generator. So let's go ahead and get her switched on to battery, and might have to choke it because it's cold. It's 25 to 30 degrees outside right now, and this generator just came in from the truck. So we're going to fire it. Let it pull a little gas in, and then I will reach over here and put the choke on and let Daniel go ahead and hit the ignition on it, because I got to hold this camera. Okay, do it again. All right. And to prove you that it can run a big load, let it warm up just a few seconds here. There's its voltage. Very nice, good, high, constant voltage. All right. That's loud. a propane generator running inside my shop. That's not too bad. A lot quieter than my old Honda. Had to turn the thermostat up. I think I'm crazy because I'm running it in my shop. Remember, it's running on propane. So that's a 1525 watt pull from this heater. Didn't make a difference, did it? All right, so we'll turn this down. You hear a generator pick up just a hair and unplug it. All right, so you see here, the way you shut it off when it's on propane is by the valve. So you're going to turn this off, kill that, and kill its propane. So what you saw right there was how handy that fitting is. So if you've got a earthquake, California folks, if you've got a tsunami, if you've got a hurricane, a tornado, well, I should say when I say earthquake, Oklahoma folks, all you guys, everybody that's got weather phenomenon that might be dangerous, if you try to go buy you one of these tanks, when that happens, good luck. It ain't gonna happen. They'll be gone before you get there. So, but you can store a whole shelf full of those in your garage. They're safe. You got a 25-year lifespan sitting on a shelf. You can get them discounted. You can buy 12 packs, things like that. Now, we don't use much propane in our shop for heating because we have the big oil burner. And this thing right here runs on used motor oil. And another thing, I've got a link down there in the very bottom below all my description. And I got so angry about what they did to those Catholic kids, and I'm not Catholic. Boy, I tell you, people were just wrong, that I made something to share with folks. With all the deplatforming of both left and right, or whatever, liberal and conservative people all over the internet, they're deplatforming people because they don't like what they say. Well, that really made me angry, so I figured, okay, well, who's doing it? Who's paying for it? Well, the mainstream media is paying for it, guys. So I made me a cup, and you can get one too. I'll put a link down there. It's Pokey Deplatforms Mainstream Media or something like that. I'll just put a link down to it. I did it on Teespring, kind of cool. People like them. So this is all your propane options. That whole list will be below the video, and you'll get to see what you can do with propane. There's a lot. Some of this kind of crosses to natural gas, such as the bender and the flaring tools. But be sure you get your caps. Be sure you get you a emergency supply use. If you're going to run a cook stove in an emergency, run a small dual fuel generator. You can also go like me, solar, but there's another big dual fuel generator. I'll put the link to its video underneath. You guys take a look at that and know that you can do it. All right, you can do it. Other videos uploaded on the trailer included the most recent video will have the windows in it and some other tips. So you guys be good. We'll see you on the rerun.